Well, left-handed job, not bad,
I
huh?
had to do that left-handed and I couldn't hold the light as well. So changing out the drive shaft, see, because we've got a inner joint that stepped out. And bada bing, we're going to give you a little bit of information on swapping that out and what we've done and what we need to do to get it swapped over. Of course, we're just going to use this brand new, genuine drive shaft, no aftermarket garbage. All right, we have a new seal to install into the diff. Quite expensive as well. They're about 44 bucks each. What a rip-off, eh? Ridiculous. And we've got the we've got it all pulled apart. We've got the seal out, so just thought I'd show you. Get in there a bit more closely and show you what it looks like in there before we install the new seal. No, we haven't drained the diff oil. Sometimes I drain the diff oil, but this one's had a couple of diff oil changes already, you know, the over-servicing thing. And we're just going to give it the top up when the job's done. So just giving you a bit of a look around in there before we do a final clean up. We're giving it a quick wipe. Just want to sort of have a bit of a look and have a bit of a show you what components look like so you know what to expect and what's in there. A lot of people are curious. I want to see these things. Okay, so the new seal's installed, the genuine seal, the new drive shaft's in. We've shown this in other videos, so you can search our channel for drive shaft replacement. I just want to show you the angle and then show you why I believe it happens and why a lot of HILUXs are lucky. You might be able to check this out on your own, or you can get a diff drop or whatever. But see, there's quite a bit of angle on that CV there, and there is here on this one also. Doesn't look too bad, but we know that it's enough. Now, what I've noticed is if you stand at the front here on HILUXs, right, and you compare, so it's hard to show you, but what I'm looking at from a distance is the distance between the bottom of that drive shaft in respect to that wheel alignment, the camber adjuster pin there, right? This thing right in the middle of the picture, the gap between the two. So what I've got in the picture now, that gap there compared to that gap there. But if I look at it, you might not see it on the camera. I'm going to try and hold it still. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I can stand here and look at that and tell you categorically that the diff at the drive shaft, at that driver's side there, is about at least 10 millimeters higher. And what happens is, can you bring the gun around, mate? If you come around that side there and just loosen those two bolts and everyone can just see the whole diff drop down. Watch this. See that? Okay, now that's where the diff should be sitting to be level. And at that point, this side is actually lower than this point. Now, of course, it's going to go up a little bit when we're tightening it, but you can get a little bit of adjustment out of it. That's what we're going to try and do anyway. But of course, we might need to add some spacers in to drop that diff enough, because look, those angles there, beautiful. I got no issue with that angle. This outer one, never really too worried about that. But this one on the inner, that's a lot better. Now, can you just do us one more favor, please, mate? Just tighten it up again, just to demonstrate to everyone how much it just pulls up. Just give even one of those two bolts a nip, whatever. Yeah, so it goes up a fair way. Do the other one, it won't change much anymore. I get a little bit more again, see? So there you go. So bada bing, what you need is that diff to come down a little bit, and to be quite honest, it doesn't even need to come down a long way, and this side isn't even moving, and there's a massive difference. And that's why if you're finding your driver's side on your HILUX always breaking the CV, is because I'm the same, constantly seeing that it's kind of we could even call it a bit of a design fault, because this side, if you look at the angle, it's nowhere near as bad, in my opinion. From what I can see, might be hard to demonstrate to you in the video, but that height there compared to that height there, it's quite a big difference. Even standing back, as I said, hard to show in it with a camera, but you can just see, looking at it, go, yep, it's sitting high at the driver's side. So we're going to have a play around with it, see where we get it to. New drive shaft going in. There's lots of different techniques, ways you can do that. You know, these bottom bolts out, whatever, swing it all around and turn it inside out, back to front, whatever. It's more about trying to explain to you the problem with this one, because like I said, we've been here, shown you this before, and it's not something we do a lot. So we're not the specialists at changing drive shaft. We specialise in what do we do? Injector replacement, diesel engine injector replacement, 1KD specialist, BFE jobs, maybe a few services, inspections, maybe suspension every now and then and all that. But changing drive shafts on Prados is not something we usually need to do. We've done a few, and HILUXs, it only seems to be on our own because we broke one. But anyway, bada bing. Hopefully some of this information has been helpful. So subscribe, turn the bell on, and I don't know whether we're done yet, but we'll show you what happens with these heights. And if we end up putting a some sort of diff drop in, as I said, I think K-On have got replacement mounting brackets. That could be the go. But depending, I don't necessarily want this diff to come down lower than that cross member. So if it comes down a lot more than that, oh, K-On replacement, blood beautiful. Anyway,